Hi, I'm Bill Corcoran Jr., and I'm your host for the On the Stacks podcast. Today, I'm chatting with Amber Loomis, Director of Development and Community Relations at the Osterhout Free Library. What's up, podcast episode 28? Welcome to the On the Stacks podcast. Amber, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. So give me a little bit of the Amber Loomis story, where you started. Take me back to the WVIA days.
Oh, you did some research.
I did.
So fun fact, when I first started college, I was going to school to be a podiatrist. And then probably a few weeks in, I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And just kind of decided that I definitely wanted to do something with TV and art. So I did a bunch of art classes and a bunch of other random like acting for the camera kind of stuff and PR classes, and I loved it. And during my last year of school, I interned at WVIA, and it just so happened that one of the girls I was interning with was leaving. So I started working at WVA about 2 weeks before I graduated college.
So what did you do with your internship there?
Oh, sure. So I dressed up as like Curious George and stuff. It was actually really fun. So I did that, helped like with kind of behind the scenes camera stuff, helped out with, typical mailings and social media posts and that kind of thing. So
cool. Yeah. So then you got, someone left and you fell into an opening, an opportunity, and what happened from there?
Yeah, so I was there for about 6 years, and it was a lot of fun. Made so many great friends, learned a lot too, just about like the whole TV industry, radio industry, and really had a lot of fun, raising money on the air with Debbie the Clubhouse Mom, holding up our thank you gifts. So we would have like Grover and Oscar the Grouch and the Count. Yeah. And all joking aside, it was really nice. And, just met a lot of wonderful volunteers and donors who are just really passionate about our area, about the community, and just about making sure that there's like, really good, fun, educational programming on the air for kids and adults.
Yeah. So when I looked, I don't even know how we weren't connected on LinkedIn, by the way, prior to this.
Yeah, how were we?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. But you were on-air host, and you did voiceovers?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So obviously, given my lovely voice here, I did a lot of the kids' voiceovers for the kids' programming. So,
like what?
Really just kind of like announcing like the different lineups for the kids' programming. So like Sesame Street and Curious George and Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. So I did a lot of that stuff, which was fun. As far as like radio goes, I did a lot of like the on-air radio fundraising campaigns. So trying to really get our listeners to call in and make a donation, whether it was $10 or $1,000. So, and really WVI has a ton of support too. They have a lot of loyal supporters there, whether it's TV and radio. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing the voiceovers. It was fun. So sometimes we'd get creative. Sometimes it was just really generic of, up next is, Daniel Tiger at 5 p.m. But other times it would be really fun and just kind of goofy and got to,
Yeah, so you're no rookie behind the microphone. Like you're like a pro.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess.
It sounds like I'm the rookie here. I feel like I'm the rookie.
Well, and the people that I worked with too, like Chris Norton and Lisa Mazzarella, they were such good like voice coaches for me too, and really kind of helped me, I guess, kind of tone my voice down a little bit so it wasn't as squeaky.
Okay.
So, and it sounded as childish, I guess.
Am I squeaky?
No.
I don't sound squeaky?
No, you don't sound squeaky.
Can you coach me?
I mean, I don't think you need coaching. I think
you're
a pro at it.
Well, thank you.
Lisa Mazzarella and Chris Norton would be very proud of you.
Cool. So what did you do after WVIA?
So I started working at a nonprofit right here in Wilkes-Barre called Family Service Association of Northeastern Pennsylvania, and I was there for about 4 years, and again, absolutely loved it. Really connected to their mission. While I absolutely loved working at WVIA and doing all the fun, amazing things that I got to do and so many wonderful opportunities, with Family Service, I just felt really connected to the mission there. They do a lot of work with underprivileged families, and growing up, we didn't have a lot, like I lived in the projects, I lived in the trailer park. So, we really relied as a family on a lot of help. So, and I think unfortunately there's such a stigma to that where, people think that, community members that are, they're just kind of taking advantage of the system. And unfortunately, yes, sure. Are there a lot of people that do that? Yes. But there are a lot of families that don't, that are working 2, 3, 4 jobs and trying to take care of their families and pay their bills and make sure their kids are fed. And, and I fell into that category of, not having a lot. My mom and dad did a fantastic job raising my brothers and I, and we always had food and clothes. But, again, like we didn't have a ton of stuff growing up. So I think as I got older and got more established and got more comfortable with myself, and I think I just kind of always wanted that position to give back to the community and kind of help the less fortunate individuals in our community. And I think that's one thing that I've really grown to love since I started working right here in Wilkes-Barre is that there's so many people that do have the funds and are fortunate enough to, be able to do a lot with their lives. And it's so wonderful to see the amount of support that they give back to all the nonprofits in the area. So whether it is like Family Service or the YMCA or all the other nonprofits, there's so many. But, they really give back. And it's just such a nice, inspiring thing about this community. And when I started working at FSA, a family service, I would leave there and just feel really good, because you hear such terrible stories about what happens to these kids, families that, I'll never forget, I was told this one story of a mom that started dating somebody and he didn't like her kid, so she was just done with her kid.
Oh. And
it's just so horrible to think that somebody would do something like that when I feel like if I was dating someone and they didn't like my dog, I would say, okay, well, bye.
Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, bye. It's my dog.
Yeah, bye, Felicia.
Yeah, exactly. So again, I think while there is a lot of bad and unjust things going on in the world, two children and 2 young adults, Family Service does a lot of wonderful work, ensuring the well-being of these kids and the well-being of these families and making sure that they're taken care of and that they get the services they need. I'm not sure if you're familiar with 211.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's that free confidential program. You can literally dial 211 or text your zip code to 898-211 and you can get help. So whether you're looking to pay your utility bills because your electric's about to get turned off, or maybe you have a loved one or a family member that is, suicidal or thinking about taking their lives and just not in a good place, you can get help that way too. You have someone that's struggling with drug addiction, you can get help that way. Or it could just be something simple. I know around Thanksgiving they get a lot of calls with how to cook their turkey. Yeah. So there's it could be really lighthearted calls, but then there's also the really serious calls.
So did you work directly with the clients, or did you what exactly did you do there?
Oh, so my job at Family Service was fundraising. So I planned the special events. So we have our gala, we have a clay shoot, a 5K walk run. So that was kind of my realm. Handled some of the smaller grants with the foundations and really just raising awareness about the organization, taking care of the email blasts, social media posts, all that kind of stuff.
Cool. And so the last time you were on the Stacks prior to the podcast, and the last time you were on the Stacks, you were with Family Service Association.
I was.
And what have you been up to since then?
Well, in July, I accepted a position at the Osterhout Free Library, and so I'm the Director of Development and Community Relations there. And again, another organization that's near and dear to my heart. As a kid, I absolutely loved going to the library. I would get books of the Babysitter's Club and the Goosebumps books, and just loved kind of going to the library to escape, just to kind of check in with myself and kind of get lost in my own little world of reading. And it was just always such a really fun, positive place for me to be as a kid. And again, with the library, while sure, you can go there and take out books and DVDs, it's so much more than that. It's like a safe haven for a lot of our community members. They do, again, we have a lot of community members in this area that, don't have access to the internet or don't have computers, and they're able to come into the library and access those services, to file taxes. During COVID, so many people relied on the library to file for unemployment, check their email, apply for jobs, so there's so much more that goes into the library.
Than just books.
Yeah.
So, you said Osterhout, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I feel like that's like a big debate around town here.
Yes.
Like how do you actually pronounce it? Is it Osterhout, Osterhout, Osterhout?
Osterhout.
So it's actually
Osterhout.
Osterhout.
Yeah.
Well,
Osterhout Free Library.
that's the official name.
Yes.
So the debate is settled.
Yes, I'm settling it right now.
I still say Osterhout. I don't know why.
That's okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Honestly, I'll try to say Osterhout.
I usually hear Osterhout or Osterhout. Mm-hmm. So, honestly, I think it's okay. I'll give it a pass.
So how did you land there?
Well, again, I'm a big volunteer in the area, so I, work with, Dress Your Success Luzerne County, Leadership Wilkes-barre, excuse me, and I've always volunteered with the library too, helping them out with their annual book sale and just raising awareness for their rooftop event. So when I found out that Chris Kelly, the former director of development, was leaving after being there for 10 years, I've always heard that the library was a really great place to work. They treat their staff good. They do so much good for the community, which, as I probably made clear, is very important to me. And so I just kind of went for it. And, luckily it all worked out, and it's been really great. The staff there is wonderful. When I first started, it was so different because I started in the wake of all this COVID craziness.
I was going to say, I mean, you started, I don't want to say at a bad time, but like in a awkward time.
Oh, super awkward. So when I first started, it was a bummer because we weren't allowed to have patrons come into the building. So we were offering contactless pickup so people could still get their books and, grab them in a no contact kind of fashion and call and, get help with computer services and that kind of thing. But we weren't able to have patrons in the library. So it's been really nice these last few weeks. We opened up to the public. Obviously, there's some guidelines. You have to wear masks, and we can only have so many people in the library at a time. But it's been really, really nice to see people coming in, and really special to see the families coming in with their kids, and the kids just super excited to, be able to actually be in the library and pick out their books versus, going on the app or going online and scrolling through the photos of the books to decide which ones they want, which obviously is a great resource.
Sure.
And super great, but I feel like it kind of loses its tangible feel a little.
Yeah. Yeah. So founded in 1889. Mm-hmm. Is that right? So founded in 1889. Do you have a little bit of history on the library? I mean, I know it's very historic. Do you want to talk a little bit about the history?
Oh, sure. Okay. So, really, I guess the story goes is that Isaac Smith Osterhout, not Osterhout. Yes, mm-hmm. Yeah. So he was a prominent merchant in Wilkes-barre. So he passed away in 1982, and he willed a huge portion of his estate he wanted it to become a free public library. So, and it's interesting because the board of directors originally back in the 1880s, they hired Melville Dewey, who's actually the creator of the Dewey Decimal System.
Very interesting.
So yeah, it's a really, really neat, and he recommended to the board that they buy the church that's now where the Osterhout is, and it just became a permanent arrangement. So we've been there ever since.
Wow, I mean that's a long time. I mean, it's like I'm bad at math, but it's like over like 130 some years.
131 years.
131. Mm-hmm. I was pretty close.
Yeah, you were close. So you're not that bad at math.
Yeah, not that bad. I was just trying to do the math real quick. So it's a free library.
Yep.
So what does that mean?
So it really means anyone can come in. Obviously, you need a library card, but it's completely free. So you can come in, keep the books for obviously a certain amount of time. And even, when people, kind of ask, like, well, what about the fines? I mean, you're talking 25 cents. So it's not substantial. Yeah. I mean, you would have to have a book out for a while for it to be
a big fine.
Yeah, to be a big fine. So, we try to be, reasonable and understanding to our community members. And obviously during COVID, we were, we dismissed all the late fees because, people were afraid to leave their homes. So we're not going to be charging people. So I don't think we turn back on the late fees until August. So
Okay.
So just last month we turned them back on.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So being that's a free library, how does it get funded?
Well, so we rely a lot on fundraising, rely really heavily on grants, and again, those fundraising events. So we have...
Speaking of,
we
have some coming up like immediately.
Yes, this week actually. So each year we have our annual gala and online silent auction, and it goes... It's probably one of the most popular galas in the area. I know last year it sold out. Raises a lot of money. There's a fabulous committee that gets involved. Molly Hagan is the chair of it for probably the last, I want to say, 8 years. But she does a phenomenal job. She puts her heart and soul into this
Great event.
Yeah. And honestly, the rest of the committee members are just as wonderful too. They do put so much hard work and effort into this event. But since we couldn't be together, we came up with this Summer's End Sea Fest kind of theme. So what we've been telling people is, we're sailing uncharted waters, and, since we can't, enjoy the event together in our safe harbors, we are doing it at home and we're calling them our quarantine. So,
okay.
Yeah, so it's a really fun event. So the takeaway dinner is on this Saturday, the 12th. Mm-hmm. It's $75 per person. If you are interested, I know ticket sales ended, but we do have a couple. We have a handful or so of tickets available.
So if anyone's listening.
Yes, if anyone's listening and you want to take advantage of this takeaway Sea Fest dinner, it's on Saturday, September 12th. Again, it's $75 per person. You can choose between lobster rolls and jumbo beef and shrimp skewers. There's crab cakes, and if somebody gets 2 or more meals, you automatically get a 6-pack of SBC beer and a pint of Blue Ribbon ice cream.
Yum.
So it's not a bad deal. And again, totally safe. You don't have to get out of your car. You can pick up at the Westmoreland Club. You can pick up in the Back Mountain, or you can pick up at Mountaintop. So we're trying to make it, we're trying to just adjust with the times here. We can't have our normal in-person event, but people do still love the library, obviously, and want to support. And we still need to raise those funds to keep the library going. So we decided to just kind of work with what we got. So we've had a lot of really great outpour of support coming on, so we're doing that, and we're also doing a virtual auction and raffle.
I was going to say you have like a $5,000 cash raffle, right?
Yes.
So tell me about the auction and the raffle.
Okay, all right. So we're doing an online silent auction, so you could go onto the website now to start viewing items. So while bidding does not open until 4 p.m. on Thursday the 10th, but you can go on and view the items, you can make donations to the Osterhout, and you can buy your raffle tickets. So it's a $5,000 cash raffle. It's $20 for each raffle ticket, or $6 for $100. And we will be pulling the winner on Monday, September 14th at noon via Facebook Live.
Cool.
And then
I'm going to win, right?
Definitely.
Okay,
I mean, definitely get some tickets. Well, I'll see what I can do. But yeah, I mean, it's usually we do a big trip raffle, but given, again, COVID, we can't do the trip raffle. We don't really want to encourage people to, or just put them in a situation where they can't use it.
Yeah, they feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not everyone feels safe traveling, and, rightfully so. So we're doing this cash raffle. It's sponsored by Discover NEPA and the Miracle Family, so they kind of form together and help us do this raffle. And I'm really excited for the virtual auction. So if you go to osterhout.info, you'll find all the information for the dinner and for the online auction. And we have lots of cool stuff. We have cigar packages, bourbon packages, wine packages. You're probably noticing a theme, but there's a lot of alcohol packages.
That's okay. People like that.
Purses, sunglasses. There are some like little mini escapes and little getaways. We also, one of the big things that I'm super excited about is, I'm sure you're familiar with the show The Office.
Oh, yeah.
So BJ Novak, he wrote the book with no pictures, and he donated a signed copy of that book for us to use for the auction. Yeah, so I'm really, really excited for that.
That's cool. So all the other packages like that you guys are raffling off, is that all like donated stuff?
Yes, yeah. So 100% of the proceeds raised from the online silent auction and the raffle completely benefit the Osterhout Free Library.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, we have over 90 items on there too.
Wow.
So there's some items for the big spenders, and then some for the not so big spenders. So there's a little something for everybody. So definitely go on and check it out. And it closes at 9 p.m. on Saturday the 12th.
Okay. So what is it about a physical book like that people enjoy?
I think they just enjoy that tangible feel of the book and turning the pages, and I don't know. It's just something that I always personally love. Like I mentioned earlier, that I was obsessed with the Goosebumps and the Babysitter Club, and I think for me, it's just having that tangible book. I think I'm on the computer all day at work, so the last thing I personally want to do is go home and read a Kindle. I like having that book, and a lot of people are really great with. They're going to read their book and then they're going to donate it so that way other people can benefit. I'm a little more on the greedy side with the books because I like to have my books.
Yeah, you brought all these books today on the stacks. Like we had stacks and stacks and stacks of books. I had all the kids' books, but you know.
Yeah.
So how many books are in the library?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Thousands.
Thousands.
Yeah, definitely thousands. I wish I knew that. I will find out that number and get back to you.
Yeah, well, I know it's a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of books.
So how many of them have you read? All like 10,000, right?
Obviously the whole loot of them. Oh gosh, how many books have I read? I don't even know. I don't know. Right now I'm really obsessed with Glennon Doyle.
I was going to say, what are you reading right now?
Glennon Doyle, yeah. I absolutely love her. And honestly, I am a big Stephen King fan. I love crime, and I'm just really into
mystery.
That. Yeah, mystery.
Scary stuff.
Yes, I love scary stuff. I don't know why, but it's just, I like it.
Yeah. Well, good timing. Like Halloween's coming up soon. Yeah. Kind of. Mm-hmm. It's fall.
It will be here before we know it. It's already September.
Pumpkin spice latte?
Yeah.
Are you a pumpkin spice latte person?
Honestly, no, but I do like hot chocolate.
Okay.
I'm a big hot chocolate fan with the whipped cream. And honestly, I drink that like all year. I got one at a buy last week.
Nice.
So they make fun of me. Like, don't you want a coffee?
Like, no, I'll take the hot chocolate.
I would like the hot chocolate with the whipped cream, please. Thank you.
The usual.
The usual.
So they know.
They know. It's kind of sad, but they know.
That's
they still like me. So
that's like right down the road from the library.
Yeah.
Like
so it's really convenient.
Walking distance.
Yeah. Get out, get a nice little fresh air break, and get my hot chocolate.
Yeah. So you touched a little bit on before, but is there like there's a cloud library or like audiobooks that people can get too besides just physical?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we do have a lot of audiobooks, and that collection is getting bigger and bigger because the audiobooks are a lot more popular nowadays than they were before. And I think a lot of people are on the road a lot too. We have a lot of people that commute long hours back and forth to work throughout the week. So instead of listening to music, they decided to come in and take out audiobooks and listen to that when they're on their journeys back and forth to work, or if they're taking a long road trip for a vacation. I think the audiobooks too is a really nice thing for the kids too, especially if maybe they're still in the kind of early brinks of learning to read, so they still get to take part in those books. And we have a lot of patrons and consumers that just simply, they're older and they can't see that well, so it still allows them to read just instead of reading, they're listening. So they're still able to get to hear these new books that are coming out that they haven't had the opportunity to read. And we obviously have DVDs, we have CDs and magazines, and we have patrons that come in to read the paper every day. And it's just a really nice place to work, honestly. It makes me really happy.
That's good. And you guys also have like it's going to sound kind of funny, but you have a library of like old newspapers and stuff too, right?
Yes,
like you guys have like an archive.
Neat. It's so neat. It's so cool, and everything's filed so perfectly. So if you are looking for an article from maybe in the paper from, the early 1900s, and you're doing a project, whether it's for school or work, or you're just doing some family history, those Ancestry DNA kits are a huge hit right now. So it's a really cool way to dig back. But yeah, there's so much stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Yeah.
And we actually had somebody last week drop off a bunch of old newspaper donations, and it was so neat to go through them.
And like, what do you guys do? You just archive them? Mm-hmm. How does that work?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, we have some staff that really work really hard to do that, so it's very time consuming.
Yeah, I bet.
But it's definitely worth it.
That's cool. That's really neat. So you are from this area, right?
I actually grew up in Lackawanna County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I grew up in German, so close.
Yeah,
close.
Still
like
close.
40 minutes away. But
yeah.
Yes. So I moved here. I moved a lot when I was younger. I was born in New Jersey.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, moved to Washington State.
That's kind of far.
Yeah, really, really far, right?
Yeah.
I lived in Virginia for a little bit, and then we moved to Scranton.
Okay. Yeah. So when did you land in Scranton?
I want to say probably 3rd, 4th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been here most.
You've been here most of your life.
Yeah, most of my life.
So you consider this home?
Yes, definitely.
What would you say is your favorite thing about NEPA?
I really love the nature aspect of it. And I know a lot of people complain about winter and I just appreciate all the seasons. It's nice. I really enjoy the fall. Fall's my favorite, and I love the spring. And I think there's something to do in each season too around northeastern Pennsylvania. So if you're into hiking, you can do that all year round. If you're into skiing or snow tubing, there's so much fun stuff to do. Swimming, all the lakes around. I mean, I'm a huge fan of kayaking, just absolutely love going kayaking. So I take advantage of that as much as I can. And I just think it's a really beautiful place to live, a great place to raise a family. And it's really close to everything too. So if you do want to go off to the city, whether you're going to Philly or New York City, or if you want to head down towards Washington, it's really not that far of a drive.
Yeah, true.
It's pretty convenient.
It is.
Lots of places to eat, lots of great places to eat, lots of great places for me to get my hot chocolate. Yeah. So I really don't have any
A lot of
complaint.
hot chocolate.
A lot of hot chocolate places.
Yeah. Very cool. So how can our listeners learn more about the library?
Well, they can go to our website at osterhout.info. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. You can always give us a call. You can call me if you want. I can fill you in if you want to know what's going on at the library. Obviously, with COVID right now, as I mentioned, we are having some guidelines in place to make sure everyone's safe, including the staff. But we're really looking forward to being able to start all of our programs up again.
Cool. When do you think that's gonna happen?
I think once we get the okay from the state, most likely.
Okay. It's still kind of up in the air.
Yeah. I mean, we opened about 2-3 weeks ago to the public. And I would say at the end of this month, we're going to be opening up on Saturday. So stay tuned for that information. So we're going to be doing that. And also, since we weren't able to have our rooftop event, you've been to that. I feel like I've seen you there.
I mean, we're wearing these.
Yes, we're
these
wearing
are the shirts.
Yeah.
These are the shirts, right?
Yeah.
The Brewsterhout.
The Brewsterhout. So it's such a really, really fun event.
I didn't even read it, but I can't read mine, but I can read yours because you're wearing it too. I wasn't there, but neither were you.
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, and it's a soft material shirt too.
I love that.
So in a couple weeks, stay tuned for that too, because we are going to be selling these t-shirts, and we're also going to be selling coupon books. So since we could not have our rooftop event or Brewsterhout event, where we get to bring in a lot of the restaurants and businesses in the area, we are working with them to create a coupon book. So there's about, I want to say, over 40 businesses that have participated in the coupon book. So we're in the process now of getting those printed. But again, it's a great way to raise funds for the library, but it's also an even better way to support all the local businesses in the area.
Yeah. And one more time, the $5,000 cash raffle, and what else?
All right, so $5,000 cash raffle. Go to osterhout.info or go to our Facebook page. There's tons and tons of good stuff on our Facebook page about this upcoming event. But 6 tickets for $100, $20 per ticket, or so six for $100 or 1 for $20. And tune in on Monday, September 14th at noon to our Facebook Live page or our Facebook page where we're going to go live, and we're going to pull the winner that way.
And you're going to pull my winning ticket.
Yes. I'm going to try to pull your winning ticket.
All right.
I'm going to try to. And then as far as that goes, obviously please go online, support the Osterhout, whether it's buying a raffle ticket, bidding on some of the amazing auction items that we have up for grabs, or again, if you want to snag a ticket or two for the Drive Up Seafest dinner, like I said, we have a couple on hand. Ticket sales online have ended, but you can always give us a call and we will try to get you in the best we can.
Excellent. Well, I think that about does it. So we're going to call it a wrap on the Stacks podcast. Amber Loomis, Osterhout Library.
Osterhout.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much.
If you'd like to learn more about the On the Stacks podcast, be sure to search the hashtag On the Stacks on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. We'll catch you next time on the Stacks.